Well, the NBA draft is just under 3 weeks away. June 30th is the night, and the place is the Palace of Auburn Hills. That's pretty appropriate considering that Detroit native Chris Webber is expected to be one of the top picks, if not the first pick, which of course is owned by Orlando. Also expected to go in the first few choices is Shawn Bradley, the 7'6" center out of Brigham Young. Chris is going to be with us by satellite. Shawn is here live in Phoenix. I can just see my mom watching this going, Bob, sit up straight. What good is it going to do? The guy is 2 feet taller than me. And then the question with you has been your weight. In the 2 years away from competitive play on the Mormon mission, how much weight have you been able to put on?
Well, when I played at BYU, I was playing about 200 pounds. Right now, I weigh about 242, 245, right in there. So almost 40 pounds.
How much more would you like to pack on for the rigors of the NBA?
Well, I'm not too sure. I'd like to get with a trainer. I'm going to get with a trainer next week, and we'll decide exactly how much would be my optimum playing weight.
Bill Walton had an interesting observation, and he knows pivot play, obviously. He said he thinks it's a good thing that you were away from the game competitively for 2 years. Likens it to what David Robinson had to go through in naval service. He says it gives the kid a chance to mature, get his priorities straight other than basketball. Did it do that for you?
Absolutely. You know, the greatest thing that I did in my life so far was serve that mission and take 2 years out of basketball and devote myself to that kind of thing. I was able to figure out who I am and what I can do for the rest of my life. It also helped my metabolism slow down a little bit, so I was able to gain some weight. Hopefully now I can continue to gain a little bit more and become stronger.
Are you mean enough? It's a tough game.
I don't know. I grew up on a farm with a bunch of cattle, and they got to be the most stubborn animal in the world. But yeah, I don't play the game to lose. I want to go out there and do my best in any given situation.
We've heard a lot of talk about Golden State possibly maneuvering to move up. They've got the 3rd pick behind Orlando and Philly. Don Nelson has long coveted a center. You could be the guy. Have they contacted you?
Well, you know, many teams have been in contact with my agent and things like that. The draft is still, you know, in a couple of weeks, as we all know. I'll be excited to play wherever I can go. Of course, I do have my preferences, but you know, I'm just come back from Australia, and they said, you know, the draft is in a couple of weeks, so we'll see what happens there.
What's your preference?
Like I said, the draft is yet to happen. We'll see what happens there.
Will you work out for teams?
Excuse me?
Will you work out for teams, or do you feel your draft position is such you don't have to do that?
Well, right now, I think that for me to go and work out in the kind of shape that I am, it would not be able to show my true ability. So I'd like to take a couple weeks and hopefully get into shape, and then maybe try out for some teams. We'll see what happens.
You know, consider this. If Philadelphia sitting at number 2 takes you, and if they keep Manute Bol on their roster, they'll have 15 feet of center.
That's a lot of center.
A couple of long, lean characters. Let's go to Detroit. Chris Webber is standing by. Chris, we caught a live shot of you during the first half. Looked like you were playing some sort of Nintendo game, some sort of video game, instead of watching the Suns and the Bulls. Are you into this final?
Well, I was playing a friend of mine in Sega in the Bulls Blazers, so I was having a little fun. I'm just here relaxing. I'll watch the second half and pay a lot of attention to it.
Do you expect to be a member of the Orlando Magic? Is that safe to say that that's what you're expecting?
You know, like Shawn already alluded to, it's a long way before the draft, so, you know, you really never don't want to get your hopes up for any team. Do I feel I should be the number 1 pick? Yes, I do. I feel I'm the best player in the draft, but I think each player feels that. And with Shawn and Jamal and Anthony, I think no team can make a wrong decision with the first pick, so I think all of us just have to wait and see what happens.
I understand you and Shaquille O'Neal are pretty tight. Have you spoken with him about coming to Orlando?
I talked to him lottery day and the time after that, and you know, he just congratulated me. And when I made my decision to come out, I asked him if I should come out, and he said yes. So he just said, "I told you so," and you know, yeah, we're pretty good friends.
You may be the best player in the draft. You're used to being the best player on your team. If you go to Orlando, the spotlight won't fall first on you. Are you prepared to deal with that?
You know, players like to play, and put me in a position with 4 scrubs or 4 great players like Shaquille. I just want to fit in. I don't have to get the spotlight. He's a great player. He's a franchise player. Just let me come in and do some dirty work. Let me dive on the floor or something, you know, and just let me try to fit in somewhere in the NBA. I hope there's a place for me.
How tough is it to sit and wait and not know the fate at this point?
It's real tough, but then again, you can set goals and say, well, I have 25 days to work until draft day or whatever. So it gives you a good timetable. It's not that hard, but yeah, I'm really waiting for that moment.
Last question real quick. The Bulls are winning here. Are you winning the video game?
Oh, yeah, I already beat them. And Isaiah Thomas scored 35. My team beat Mike Jackson's team by about 50.
By
50.
All right. Switch the channel over and enjoy the second half with us. Thanks, Chris.
All right, thanks a lot.
Okay.